All right. We're just going to go with this on faith that it's working and hopefully everything is good. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Batchelor and the Neuro-Spicy music teacher. And I've decided to kind of branch out a little bit in what I do for content on the channel and start actually interviewing some people. So today I am here with the lovely Finley. Say hi, Finley.
Hi.
So, Finley is a grade 8 student here in the city of Airdrie, and she is going to tell you a little bit about this really cool event she's got planned for tomorrow. So, tell us all about it.
So I've planned a teacher rally with my mother's help, of course. But basically, we are going to be by No Frills at 3:30, 3:30. And if you can, wear red. If you can, bring a sign.
That
And
sounds awesome.
good walking shoes because we're going to be walking quite a bit.
That's a good idea because I've made the mistake in the past of not always wearing the most sensible shoes and I have regretted it. So I will have my good shoes on tomorrow for sure. So tell me what inspired you to put this together in the first place.
Well, I went to the rally in Edmonton on the 23rd. I was inspired by it. I was like, hey, I gotta make my own rally. Not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous to do this because I'm a 13-year-old girl and I've never done anything like this before. But I'm glad I did do this because I'm going to get to meet new people and we're going to be supporting teachers.
I'm really glad that you were brave enough to take the step to do this too, because honestly, I think that's the thing that holds people back is that fear. And if we just leap, honestly, we always end up in great places, right? You may not end up where you expect, but it's worth it to take the leap in the first place. And as someone with ADHD, that's a gift. I see the end goal. I don't see all the steps I need to take to get there. I just leave. And then I
Yeah.
have these grand adventures, but you know, and I feel that maybe we have that in common. And when you're putting this together, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised by the turnout. I know I've shared your poster on multiple groups and I've seen it places that I haven't posted it. So I'm really excited to see what the turnout's going to be tomorrow. So do you have a favorite teacher or a story of a teacher that inspired you or that you're really missing right now?
Oh, geez. I miss all of my teachers. There's this one teacher who is basically actually I have a few school moms, but I have my math teacher. Her name is Miss Timchuk.
Mm-hmm.
She has helped me through the thick and thin. She has allowed me to chew gum in class because I get really anxious.
That really helps, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Um, I have this teacher. I had her for 2 years straight. Her name is Miss Morel, and she was my ride or die during my hard times during grade 5.
It's really I love hearing that you have work moms or school moms, right? Like that's because honestly it does kind of feel like we build families. Like I'm a band and music teacher, so I see different groups of kids throughout the day. I teach like almost 600 different students, but my band especially becomes a family, right? We become this place where it's safe to make mistakes, which you can't make music if you don't make mistakes. And I think that's one of the most valuable things I can give kids is a chance to make mistakes in a safe environment. But to do that, we have to support each other and we have to learn to take the criticism, but we also have to learn to give it in a positive way. And so I know that that's something about schools that people don't always think about because we think we're learning to read and we're learning math but the life skills and things we're learning is well, that's really why I do the job. I think it's so important, and I love hearing your stories. What do you play in band? Because I think you
I,
mentioned a band in a different conversation.
yeah. I play alto saxophone.
Is this your first
Uh,
year?
this is my third year
Oh, your third
actually.
year, so you know what you're doing now.
Yep. Except there I have we are a group of three of alto saxophones in my band group,
Yep.
and the two other players they carry me throughout the year.
Well, that'll change, I'm sure. You keep working at it. I have a kid. My one band went from like 40 kids to like very, very small, like 12 kids last year, just
Oh
because
wow.
of moving students. And I ended up with one alto sax. And the year before, if he hears this, he'll be annoyed, but he was really not my strongest saxophone coming in. By the end of the year, though, that kid, he's carrying the solos, and he's coming in as my first chair this year. He's going to do great. But sometimes you have to put yourselves in situations where you have no chance or no option but to go forward and succeed, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that'll be good for you too. So, when you've been planning this rally, tell me about the process. How did you start organizing? What sort of things have you done?
Well, this happened a few weeks ago. I told my mom, "Hey, mom, why don't I make a poster on Canva and I share it to you and you can put it on social media?" Because I don't have social media. I'm not really interested in that yet. Um, but she's like, "Yeah, go for it." So I made a poster on Canva. Then I shared it to her, and she's like, "I'm gonna tweak it a little bit so we can like advertise a rally if you want to do one." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So she shared it. When did you share it? Like a couple days ago. Yeah. She shared it a couple of days ago, and it's kind of blown up. Like people have been like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, let's do it. I'll be there." Or like, "Oh, I love the message you're doing. I'll try my very hardest to be there." And I'm proud of the outcome of how it's like turned out.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you for taking this chance too, because sometimes these things are a little bit challenging and maybe you don't get the turnout you expected, but I'm really optimistic you're going to have great turnout tomorrow because I know I've seen it on groups that I haven't even posted it on. So, and I've been talking to my teacher friends, and I think you're probably even going to see some people from Calgary coming. So, what should we, what's some things we can expect when we get there? Is there anything we have to know, like where to park or?
Um, I'd say park at the No Frills parking lot. Um, I don't really think so. Just bring a positive spirit.
Yes, and our manners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure we're crossing the roads properly and all those things, not blocking traffic. But the teachers we're practiced at this now. We've done a few rallies. So you were up at the legislature on the 23rd, I believe. What did you think of the big rally up there, and just what were your takeaways from that experience?
Um, Everyone was very determined. Um, the ride up there was long.
Did you go in a car? Or did you come on one of the buses?
We went on one of the buses.
Yeah, I made my 13-year-old son come with me on the bus too.
Um, it was. I found it very fun. It was very like, "Oh, we got this. Let's get what we want." It was very entertaining. Yeah, very very fun.
Have you had? I'm going to use the word opportunity because it is an opportunity, but it's not a nice one. Have you had an opportunity to deal with any counter protesters or people who maybe aren't so positive about what we're doing?
I've gotten the middle finger a few times.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry for that.
I've gotten a few side eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and I've gotten so my mom and a couple people were standing on the side of like not close to the sidewalk, not really rallying, while other people were on a walk.
Yeah.
And I stood on the side of the road with a sign that says "Honk if you heart teachers," just all by myself. I got so many honks.
Yeah.
This guy was like at me.
Yeah. You're like, dude, nice face, right? Oh. No, we had one guy come up to us at the protest who was walking his dog, and he told me he hoped I lost my job. And I just like, I'm bad though. I was like, oh, those are some big feelings, honey. Right? Like, I'm like, sorry. I said, you got a cute dog. And I just walked away. But my son was appalled too. He's like, I can't believe people talk to you like that. Right? But they do.
If someone talked to me like that, I would have challenged them to a roast battle already.
Yeah. Sometimes though, it's best to walk away. Pick your battles, right? I think we've for full disclosure, this is I think our third attempt now to get this streamed. But so we've talked about lots of different things and about the comment section, and you'd mentioned that you've had some people have your back in the comment section. That makes me happy because I had a friend who was fat shamed as well. She was in a picture with one of the MLAs who was up there, and in the comments they were just talking about her body, and it takes away from the issue, but I think it also shows the mindset of the people we're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people who are on our side, and there are so many people who aren't, but are still reasonable human beings. But it seems like there's the small group that are just kind of, I don't know, they get pleasure out of making other people's days not as good.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think part of your learning through this whole process will be some skills to deal with those kind of people in the future, unfortunately. But, you know, as a teacher, that's a skill we develop quite early in our career because you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, it's part of
There are
the,
going to be haters out there.
there's obviously, and sometimes we legitimately are in the wrong and have made mistakes too, right? So
Yeah.
it's good to be open-minded to that when you're going through this, because we get so tunnel visioned on our side of the issue, right? Like, I know why teachers need a fair contract. I understand what's going on in my classroom, and I just tune out the other voices. And so for me, I have to keep reminding myself I need to go on those other pages for the separatist groups and the things who, with the people who have opposite opinions of me, not so that I can better my own argument, because I don't think facts actually change people's minds. They have to feel something to change their mind, but just because I think for myself, I don't want to be that person who's like those people who keeps coming up to me and they only have the one opinion, and I think that can be dangerous. So
Yeah.
what are some of the issues that you think teachers are fighting for? Like, from a student's perspective, what are some things you've seen in your classroom and that you would like to see changed, or that you understand we're fighting for in this whole strike?
Very full classrooms.
Yeah.
I would love for that to be fixed. Um, there are students in classrooms who don't get the help they need right away when they actually need it, and I'm one of those students. I struggle in math, and most of the time I don't get the help I need because I either am trying to figure it out by myself, um, or like, should I go up there, or if she's helping someone else out, like, because most of the time she has a very long lineup
Mm.
for like, students who need help.
Yeah, and I think math, probably other subjects too, they're not quick answers, right? You actually have to help the person
You
work
gotta
through the
work through
problem.
that.
Yeah, right? Like, it's not like, okay, here's how you do it, now go try it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's, if they're standing at your desk or at the teacher's desk, it's because she needs to, like, give you that one-on-one. So what do you guys do when you can't get the help? How do you guys cope with that?
Personally, I have gone to one of my best friends. She is amazing in math. I like, hey, how do you do this? I don't quite understand it, and she helps me through it. So we've basically just gone to each other for help.
And I see that a lot in my own room too, not just because I can't get to kids, but I honestly think that sometimes you guys can teach each other in a different way, right? Not better, but a different way than I would maybe present the ideas. And sometimes that's the way you need to hear it. Like, I know that I learn from students every time I teach. I had a flute player who taught me how to get kids to make a sound on the flute in a way I've never heard, and it works so good. I just share it with all my teacher friends. We learn from you guys too, right? And I like that about my job, that it's constantly learning, right? Um,
I think it's because we hear it from like the like we're like both 13-year-olds. We talk to each other as if we're the same age. We'll both
mhm.
understand it.
Yeah. So when you go 6, 7, everybody.
Oh my gosh, no.
I'm still hearing that in my house a lot. And then it was trombone today, 6, 7 with the positions. I'm like, oh my gosh, 20 minutes of
Oh,
my life I will not get
my
back.
friend yesterday, I was at a birthday party, and my friend took a picture like this.
That's the thing to do, right? It's funny to me.
Why?
Could be worse. It's not as annoying as bottle flipping. I will take this trend over bottle flipping any day. So, what is something about school that you're missing right now? Is there anything? I mean, my son is like, he's a soccer player, and so if he's not inside, he's out kicking the ball. He's loving all the extra training time, but I haven't made him do any real schoolwork because the package is kind of dumb, in my opinion. But um, have you engaged with that at all, or your friends? Have you used the government's resources?
Nope,
No.
nope. They don't know a single thing on what we're doing, how to teach it. So I haven't even looked at my school binder.
Yeah. teachers, I think we have a plan in the back of our minds. We're not allowed to be
Yeah.
actually working, but I already know. I'm like, when I come in, okay, here's the 3 things I normally would teach. We're just not doing this year, and we can work around this, right? Do you worry that maybe you're going to miss out on some stuff because of that?
Yes. Last year we missed 3.5 months in my class because one of my teachers was so stressed she went on leave.
Oh,
So we were left with a substitute teacher that didn't do anything, took us outside and made us do. He was like, one day he was like, "Hey guys, your first essay is due today," and then took us outside and didn't let us work on it.
right. Because well, and if you're out for a long-term leave, like the way it should work, at least in Rocky View schools, is after the 3rd day, then the sub should be making their own plans and doing the actual teaching, right? So it sounds like that you did you go through lots of different subs?
Nope, just
No,
the
just the
one.
one. Oh, well, you were lucky that way. It's really
I,
hard to get
I
subs.
told the principal because he was like he made a student mark
Mm.
our
Oops.
work.
Yeah.
I told the principal. She came down. She was like, "Okay, you stop doing this." She left. He did it again.
Yeah. Well, it's not perfect. And when it's not your full time job, I think people engage with it in different ways. But I know that getting a guest teacher to come in who can actually teach my subject is rare. So when I go away, I leave my plans so that the kids can run the class themselves. Because in band, I can say, "Hey, you conduct, you right." So they know unless I'm sick and it's a surprise. But I kind of have to train my kids to teach because I can't guarantee there's going to be someone who speaks the language that I teach, right?
Yeah,
Do you so having an unqualified sub I don't think is unusual, right? So you're in the Catholic system, correct?
yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and I'm in public, but I think we share a lot of the same issues with crowding and stuff. Does your school have portables or anything like that?
Actually, we have a couple. We've got like four, I think,
Yeah.
3 or 4.
No, there's more on that one. That one lane.
But they're quite small, and my teachers have like lots of bookshelves and stuff, so that doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, you're squished in with all the stuff.
Yeah,
And they echo. I find that portables. I don't know. I'm autistic and ADHD, and so sensory things sometimes can make or break whether I can learn and focus in an environment. And the fact that the whole room, like the sound underneath, there's this cavern, right? It's like you're walking on a drum, and I
yeah.
find it really hard to even hear people speaking sometimes if anybody's walking in the room. Just the way it works. We have 9 portables on the school I teach at, but the nice thing about them is they have air conditioning. The rest of the building doesn't.
Oh,
So in the summer we can actually it's kind of nice to actually go into a room. I don't think people know that schools don't have air conditioning. We also can't control the temperature of our room. That's done from central office. I don't know why we're not allowed that power. I might turn the heat up past 21, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. So as we're going to into this next week, so what is your sort of understanding about what's happening with the teacher strike right now and where it's going?
I don't know a lot about it. My mom has been watching the news, and I've been like stealing glances at it, but I don't know a lot. I just know that some people aren't making very good decisions right now, and I know that a lot of people are quite angry at it.
That might be an understatement.
Um, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it, like at the moment.
Yeah.
But
If you could wave
I
a
know
wand
some
and we're back at school tomorrow, what's one thing you would hope would be different?
classroom sizes.
Yeah.
If they could make, I don't know how, but if they could make them smaller, that'd be wonderful.
Right? Imagine not having to stand in a line to get help.
Oh, that'd be unimaginable.
Right? I know. I when I first started teaching, and my class sizes have always fluctuated depending on where I've lived, but I didn't have as much trouble getting around to all my kids. And I think for me, one of the things that's changed is, and I think it's a good thing, it's a positive change, it's inclusion. And so when I first started teaching 26 years ago, back in the Stone Age, kids with special needs, if they were severe enough to need an EA, they would have been in a separate classroom. They probably wouldn't even have been in the same building I was teaching in. And then over time, we've started inclusion. So everybody is all together. And I think that's how it should be, but we need the support. So have you had an experience where you've been in a class where there's kids who like really need support, like for safety reasons, and they haven't been able to get it? Have you seen that in your educational career?
I don't think so.
That's good. Yeah, I have a couple nonverbal kids who come without EAs and things, and I worry about them because if I'm teaching and they get behind the drum set or something, they could get hurt, right? It's just, I think inclusion is really important. I think everybody should be together, but just with supports, right? Do your
Yeah.
classes have EAs in them? Do you have educational supports in the room, like other adults?
No.
No. It's less common in middle school for sure. Yeah, elementary schools tend to get more, but we still don't have
Yeah,
enough of those.
yeah.
either.
In my school, we got elementaries get them.
Yeah. I think the thinking is if we put a lot of intervention in when they're little, we'll need less as they get older, right?
That makes sense
Yeah.
for some of it.
Yeah. What's one thing you would like to see? Let's say, if you were Danielle Smith, pretend you are.
Oh.
Oh no, don't do that. Evil. Okay, you're Danielle Smith, or sit like this. This is how the queen sits. How do you think she feels about all of this? Like,
I think she's very determined to get her way, which is not very good right now.
yeah,
Because you're not always going to get your way, which is something she should have learned in preschool. Sometimes you just have to give the people what they need.
yeah. Maybe what they need is different than what you expected they needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thought. I think of as elected officials, right? They come with their own backgrounds and their own, point of view on the world. I think it's hard for them to remember that they represent everybody, not just the people who voted for them. So I think when we have 40,000 humans show up for a protest, that sends a pretty strong message that maybe you should give us some time and listen to us, right? Because honestly, from where I'm sitting as a teacher, I think that the whole reason this broke down is because, and I'm not saying our union's perfect, because they aren't, but every time we've come back to the table, we've had something changed in what we're okay with. Like, we would still like this, but we're okay with not getting this, right? Yeah. Whereas when they come, it's like, here's what you get. Nope, here's the same thing, right? So I think what's holding us up is maybe it's some ego, right? Maybe it's truly they don't understand the situation, but I don't understand how you could get there with what's going on. But yeah. I think we need to learn the art of compromise. Teachers as well. We're going to have to compromise to come to an agreement here, and I think that's perfectly fine. I have the best husband in the world. You know what? He just brought me chocolate.
Oh, I want chocolate.
Yeah, marry a person who brings you chocolate.
Okay. Noted.
Write it down. Yeah. No, it's all good. I don't know. Did you find the strike as kind of a break, or are you finding it hard to fill your time, or what are you doing these days?
Most of the time I'm sitting on the couch watching Percy Jackson, or sometimes, when the strike when it started, my friends and I would go outside, like, because we have a park like right near our house.
Yeah.
We would go meet up there. We would volleyball. We would talk. We would just be 80s kids.
Yeah, that's the way to be, right? I joke that my kid is feral because I'm like, go outside and come back at dinner, right? But, we live in a very safe community. We're really blessed. Airdrie is a very safe place. I feel like I can let a teenager outside without having to worry about them. And I find that the people here are very kind and look out for each other, and I really appreciate that. And you mentioned you don't have social media, so how are you keeping in touch with your friends?
Through WhatsApp or messages.
Yeah.
Or my mom's phone. I tell her, hey mom, can you text their parents and ask if they want to do this and this and this?
Yeah, your mother's still your social coordinator?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm my son's because he lost his phone, so now I'm his social coordinator until he saves up to get a new phone. But I think it's okay. Social media is good and bad, and I think the biggest thing about social media is staying out of the comments section, right? And we were talking about, sometimes people are haters and things. And for the rally tomorrow, bringing our positive attitudes, of course, I'd be very surprised if you encounter anybody who's cruel or mean to you. I really hope you don't. Yeah, right. Elbows up, right? We're good Canadians here. But what are you hoping that tomorrow is going to do? What is the outcome of doing the walk, you hope?
Um, I just hope that we get like people like all like confident in themselves, and I hope that we spread a message saying like, "Oh, a 13-year-old planned this event? What?"
Yeah.
And I hope it like sends a message to Danielle Smith being like, "Oh, well, apparently the next generation is fighting with the teachers." So,
Right, because this is your education, right? We're
yeah.
fighting to do our job, but our job is you. and
Yeah.
and that's why it's complicated. I don't think there's a lot of other careers where there's that level of connection and responsibility and stuff, right? Like it's different than if you were a truck driver and you're just responsible for your cows that you're driving around, right? Like I don't know. I think it's a very different bargaining situation. I don't know other jobs that have to bargain for work conditions. So I
Yeah.
I think it's good and it's bad. It's just what it is, right? Here we are. And I think that you should be super proud of yourself for putting this together. It takes a lot. I bet you're surprised at some of the things you had to think about putting it together, right? Like, did anything
Yeah.
really surprise you that you didn't think, oh, I never thought of that?
Um, I'm not really sure. I didn't really know what to expect with this, like with planning this. So yeah, no, I wasn't really sure what to expect when making this, but my mother basically put the pieces together. I just laid the pieces out.
That sounds like a great collaboration. That's awesome parenting. Tell your mom she's doing a good job because she's letting
Good
you
job,
do the
mom.
ideas and the thinking, and she's just helping you fine tune it all so it runs smoothly, right? That's a good mom for you.
And
Have you heard of Evan, the boy Evan, who was trying to speak
yes,
at the?
yes,
Yeah. What do you
I
think?
was, I was very like at the person who said those things to him.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's like you shouldn't be treating the next generation like that because they are going eventually it's going to come back and it's going to slap you in the face.
Yeah. I think that if they should maybe look at you guys as coming from a positive, like you guys are the
Yeah.
future political leaders. You guys are politically
Yeah.
engaged at a young age. So they should be giving you the tools and the opportunities to really grow that because that's going to make the government better in the future, right? So there's really a
Exactly.
missed opportunity by silencing you guys.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's completely tone deaf, right? Like who knows better the problems in the classrooms than you guys?
Mhm. And I feel like if like if we're not getting the education we need, we're not going to grow up knowing what we need to do
Mm.
with our jobs.
So I hear a lot of criticism sometimes of the things that we teach that they don't necessarily prepare you for the real world. Um, can you think of anything that you are learning that you think this does prepare you, or there's something a teacher's taught you that led to maybe you being able to organize a walk, or I don't know. Are there things you apply in real life?
Social studies last year we learned about democracy and like how like even the small people stood up for what's right and they were now they're in our history textbooks.
Yeah,
How they like they weren't known in the world, but then they made a decision that changed the course of the history forever.
absolutely. My son is hooked on Hamilton. We've been listening it into the car on the way to soccer, and it's about a revolution, right? The American Revolution. And we were driving it the other day, and he said, wow, it kind of feels like with this week coming up and possibly like a general strike and all these things, like feels like we're living back in these times, right? And we keep hearing the phrase history repeats itself, and I really wish I knew how to make that stop happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a human race, we don't seem to be able to get past it sometimes. But it's exciting times we're living in for sure. Historical. It'll be interesting to see what happens if we're ordered back and
Yeah.
what the pushback from that is.
Some people are saying like they're like some students are saying they're just gonna walk out of school.
Yeah, I've
And
heard
not
the high school kids can do that. Elementary kids cannot do that because their parents legally have to have them at school. and they could be charged with truancy and things. So little kids, younger kids, elementary kids, they have to be at school. But high school kids, they could absolutely make that choice if they're 16.
My mom told me if like kids in my class are doing that, join them.
Yep. Yep. You've got parental support.
Or I would like some teachers aren't, or like some people aren't even sending their kids to school because it's not fair.
Yeah. It's kind of an odd situation that we all find ourselves in, and I don't know. We'll get through it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any last words of advice for tomorrow for people?
If you're nervous, or like if you don't think you're really a rally person, believe me, I didn't think I'd be a rally person, and here I am organizing one.
So are you an introvert then, perhaps?
I'm an ambivert. I'm
Ooh,
like I
that
can be like not I can be shy at sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
most of the time I'm like, yes, let's do it. Come on.
Yeah, I say I'm an extroverted introvert because when I'm out of my house, out of my cage, then I'm like, I'm the person who says, oh, there's a use for my confetti cannon in the trunk of my car. Like I'm a big personality, but at home, I'm like hiding in my room. I need to recharge, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
going out to big events with lots of humans is scary, right? And I think that's good advice. Just go, right? Give it a try. And I like
Just
that. Ambivert.
just
I'm stealing that.
go for it. There's gonna be some sort of outcome.
There is. And honestly, if you are a teacher, this is just from me, if you're a teacher who's struggling with your mental health right now and that lack of connection, these rallies, they make a big difference, right? Just go out and be with other people who do support you and believe the same things that you believe. Because just as important as making sure you test your bias is important you make sure you have your supports, right? And so
I find these rallies, they're confidence building,
they
because
really are.
you know that you're not alone out there. You know that there's other people. You're gonna meet other people. You're gonna be put in a situation where you're gonna have to talk to other people,
Mm-hmm.
which can be good and bad at sometimes. But this is a good thing.
This is
to
a good thing.
talk to other people. You're going to connect with other people, and then next thing you know, you're gonna be having coffee with them at a coffee shop because you're best friends.
That sounds like a great way to do this. So I will touch base with you tomorrow at the rally, and maybe we can meet up again next week and talk about some of your takeaways from the whole event.
Yeah.
All right. It was great to meet you before you become the famous Finley, but I'm sure I'll be able to say I knew you when one of these days. And I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks.